all men speak the same language. A language that I very well understand.
Hey guys, it's your girl Okwe and welcome to the All Shows Nigerian channel where I review Nollywood movies, series and reality TV shows. Today I'll be reviewing one of the latest Netflix movies titled ADIRE, which came out a few weeks ago or a week ago. If you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, welcome to the channel. I hope you stay, I hope you enjoy what you listen to, and in the end, I hope you click the subscribe button and turn on your post notifications. And if you're a returning subscriber, Happy New Year! I'm so glad that we've all made it into this new year. Glory be to God. Thank you guys for supporting me, supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let's hope that we continue to grow as a family and as a brand in general. We're on our road to 200 subscribers. I can't even believe it. Like me, little Nigerian girl, like sitting in one corner of my room reviewing shows, like you guys actually giving me an audience and actually listening to me. It means a lot to me and I honestly appreciate it all. I appreciate all the support and yeah, I'm totally grateful to you guys for like encouraging me on my channel. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this review. So I'm going to be reviewing this particular movie based off its cast performance, movie creativity, originality, positives that I liked about the movie and negatives that I did not like about this movie. And then in the end, I'm going to give my overall thoughts on like my final ratings on like the entire movie and all those type of things. So the movie plot is basically about a sex worker turned entrepreneur who moves to a small town and launches her own lingerie business, only to draw the ire of a preacher's wife. So that's basically the synopsis of the movie. Cast performance, I feel like the movie was very star-studded. We had Yemi Black, we had kehindebankole, we had Yvonne Jegede, we had Mike Afolarin, we had Ifeanyi Kalu, we had Femi Branch, we had Funlola Aofiyebi, I hope I pronounced that well, and so many others that are well known in the industry. So it was definitely a star-studded movie. Did they deliver their cast performance? Yes, but there are some other things about the movie that I feel like even though they did their part as like the casts, like in the roles that they were supposed to play, the movie still fell flat, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. In terms of movie creativity, originality, that is exactly what the movie lacked: creativity and originality. I feel like we've seen thousands of Nollywood movies like this that have this same kind of storyline, sex worker turned entrepreneur trying to break out of like that life, and then all of a sudden the former pimp or the former master of the girl is trying to like get her back, and that whole like storyline I feel like it's been recycled in Nollywood multiple times. Like we've seen it over and over and over and over again, and unfortunately there was nothing about this movie that stood out of like that whole sector of like that kind of movie. I feel like the producers could have definitely taken it up a notch with this movie and like added a little bit of creativity or like added something to like separate this particular movie from the regular type of this kind of like narratives, like this kind of movies that have this kind of similar narratives. They could have stepped it up and thought of something outside the box to like make them stand out essentially regarding their storyline. The first 10 minutes of this movie had so much potential in my opinion, but like I think the producers flopped big time as the storyline began to progress. I honestly have no idea why this movie was 2 hours plus long. Like there was no reason for this movie to be 2 hours plus, to be honest. Like literally no reason for that. Totally unnecessary. And honestly, initially I didn't know where this movie storyline was going. I feel like the plot was heading a direction in the first 25 minutes, and I didn't understand the connection between ADIRE and her whole thing going on and like the church and their whole thing going on until like maybe almost 1 hour into the movie. So I just feel like all that time was just wasted in like unnecessary things, like unnecessary build up in the movie before they now got into the main thing about the movie, if that makes sense. Overall, I just feel like the movie, like I said, lacked creativity, and the only creative thing about this movie I feel was the fact that ADIRE was selling not just like regular like clothes. Like she wasn't just sewing regular clothes, she was sewing lingerie pieces and underwear pieces type of thing. There was a specific type of clothes that ADIRE was sewing. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just feel like that was low-key creative, and honestly that was like as far as the creativity went in this movie, in my own opinion. In terms of positives, honestly, like it was a decent movie. Like don't think that because like saying these things like this, like saying that it lacked creativity, that didn't mean it was an okay movie. Like, it was an okay movie. It was interesting in its own way, but like aside that, there wasn't really anything like any extra thing in it that I would have expected, especially with the kind of level of actors that they put in this movie. I just feel like I expected more. Like I said, they had well-known actors who played their roles well, but then the plot itself, in my opinion, wasn't solid. Like, it wasn't solid, like really strong. And honestly, there's only so much that good actors can do to make up for the inadequacies of like producers and directors of movies and everything. And I feel like that was what showcased in this movie. They had fantastic actors, but I just feel like even though they tried their best to like elevate the movie and stuff like that with their roles and like their acting, I just feel like the storyline itself already had cracks. And yeah, it just, at the end of the day, it just was a mid movie. And I honestly have to fault the producers, because they could have honestly taken this storyline a step further. I love the showdown between ADIRE and Sade, who was the deaconess of the church at the fundraiser event. It was very nice to see ADIRE give it back to her basketballs, like once the deaconess was like, you know, talking smack to her and everything. So that was an interesting, or in my opinion, the most interesting part of this movie. The movie, like I said, through all its flaws and challenges in between and everything, I would give it to them that it definitely had a wholesome ending. I really liked how it ended. Some way, shape or form, or one way or the other, they were able to tie the ending in a way, like with a nice cute bow, and like make it, you know, wholesome and sweet and nice. So I feel like I like that about the movie. In terms of negatives, the movie, like I said, was a bit lackluster for me. I had so much expectations considering Kehindebankole, like one of my favorite Nollywood actresses, was there, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, she's pretty much the reason why I watched the movie, and I just feel like I was low-key disappointed because the movie just fell flat, in my opinion. And honestly, in some parts, I was honestly getting bored. Like, there were some scenes where I was like, okay, maybe I should fast forward this thing, because I feel like they're just wasting time in these scenes, which still goes back to the fact that this movie didn't have to be 2 hours. But I'm gonna stop harping on that. But that was just my opinion. Like, there were just some unnecessary scenes, I guess filler scenes, to like make the movie longer, and I don't think it added to anything, or any, like, it didn't add anything of value to this movie, in my opinion. One question I had was like, how did the captain, who was like her previous master or pimp or whatever, know that she was in, or know to find her in Oyo State all the way from Lagos, because his pimping industry or whatever was in Lagos? So how did he know that ADIRE, or whatever Asari that he was calling her, because she changed her name, like how did he know she was in Oyo State, even when like she had changed her name? Like, she wasn't even using her old name from Lagos. So like, how did he know to look for her in Oyo State? We didn't know how he figured that out. That was, for me, like, again, something that they could have like explained to us further, because it was so confusing. Like, how did he know she was literally in Oyo State and everything? I know he began to ask local vendors and like people about her whereabouts once he got to Oyo State, but like that timeline between Lagos and Oyo State, how did he know to search for her in Oyo State? It just didn't make sense to me. Overall, it was a really cute movie that didn't have to be 2 hours long. It also had a promising plot, but unfortunately didn't deliver and lacked creativity, in my opinion. So because of all that, and because of all those factors, my final rating for this movie ended up being a 5 out of 10. Feel really bad to rate it that low, but that's honestly what I feel like is the best type of rating to give it. It honestly fell very flat to me, and just fell under the category of typical Nollywood movies, and I really expected a lot from them, especially because of the level of actors and level of talent that was in this movie. But that's pretty much what I had to say about this movie and my review. Comment down below what you guys think. I'm sure a lot of people will not agree with this, because a lot of people said this movie was phenomenal and it was so good. It was one of the best movies and all that, comparing it to some really solid movies from last year. And I'm like, no, that's not true. But again, to each his own. I'm not going, like, your opinion is your opinion. My opinion is my opinion at the end of the day. And regardless of all that, even if we may not agree with like whatever we have to say, or you may not agree with my opinion, I would still definitely love to hear what you guys think in the comment section. But that's the end of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like I said, we're on our road to 200 subscribers. Hopefully before the end of this year we hit 500 subscribers. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.